Hey everybody, this is Xteen, and I wanted to talk to you about a situation that was really disturbing me. Sorry, I keep moving the phone slash camera. Okay, like 3 years ago, I had an episode. I don't know what it was about. They said I had lived in an apartment building with mold and pesticide, and nobody really knew. Nobody knew what had actually happened to me. So I went from being in great health, running around, exercising, losing weight, dieting, and all that good stuff, to basically being in the worst of health, having heart palpitations that scared the people who took my EKG and made them send me to the emergency room, and just a bunch of weird digestive symptoms, asthma, and a whole bunch of other just body crap. Let's put it that way. It's just some just terrible crap to go through. You don't ever want to go through it. Like, all my allergies exploded. Like, I was allergic to cats beforehand, but I was doubly, triply allergic to cats, to the point where I couldn't even sleep in a house where there was a cat, much less multiple cats and stuff like that. And it made it so that it was hard for me to find a place to stay. Like, friends would invite me to stay with them because I couldn't stay in my apartment. It was making me sick, and I would end up having to stay in their backyard in a tent, literally. Like, one of my best friends actually had to put up with me staying in his backyard for a month in a tent. So that's what was going on, and I learned how to cure myself. And it took a lot of research. It's 3 years almost to the day when it happened, because it happened in April and May of 2013. It's now 2016. And I've noticed that whenever, like, calamity strikes, it's usually a period of 3 years for me, for some reason. Whether it's a bad relationship or a bad situation, after 3 years, the spell seems to lift, and I seem to be okay again. So in this situation, after most of the other symptoms had gone, I was left with this really weird asthma in which air just wouldn't go all the way down to the bottom of my lungs. My lungs would have a weird spasm feeling. They would just feel like they were going like this, constricting and stuff like that. And doctors tried to put me on an inhaler, which I refused. And, you know, it was a mess because I sing and I exercise. Those are two things that I love in life, and couldn't really do either. Gained weight, and, you know, couldn't really participate in what I'd love to do, except for maybe DJing. But I don't really like DJing as much as I like actually performing. So it was a mess. It was a nightmare. So I researched and I found the Weston Price Foundation, which got me back eating real food again and not freaking dieting and being crazy and trying to be like this skinny and fucking up my gut. So the Weston Price Foundation led to Dr. Natasha Campbel-Mcbride, who had healed her son of autism, who talked about the importance of your intestines. So I spent like months eating nothing but bone broth and stews and, you know, easily digestible foods to try to get nutrients in there. And I realized, like, I must have wrecked my gut after years of being a vegetarian, a vegan, and eating crazy foods and not eating enough. That can do stuff to the insides of your intestinal walls. And so I basically had to learn not to do that and to eat the right foods for my body, which was another quest, which led to somehow I found Dr. Gonzalez, a guy who had developed or continued to develop a diet that actually heals major diseases like cancer and things like that. So Gonzalez was working off the work of Doctors Kelley and Dr. Beard. So Doctors Beard, Kelley, and finally Gonzalez, which Dr. Gonzalez just passed away last year, they all contributed to this work. And it's an amazing body of work, and it shows you that the body is controlled by its two forms of nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And the sympathetic controls our, like, fight or flight reflexes and stuff like that, and the parasympathetic controls our digestion, heartbeat, and things like that, things of that nature that we can't control. And some people are parasympathetic dominant, other people are sympathetic dominant. And the foods and nutrients that we consume can control all these functions. They can strengthen or not strengthen each system. So vitamin E does something to the body. Vitamin A does something to the body and the nervous system. All the vitamins have like a different effect on the nervous system. So basically, all people shouldn't take a multivitamin. Like for me, I'm a meat eater primarily, and I should never have been vegan. I should never have been vegetarian. And there are certain supplements that are in multivitamins that were actually hurting me. Like the vitamin B supplement, I knew that vitamin B had always made me sick. And I didn't get that if you do it for years and years and years, you can actually cause your nervous system to break down or contribute to it. So I had to figure out the primary vitamins that I should be taking as a meat eater, which are calcium citrate, not calcium carbonate, because calcium carbonate is cement, and calcium citrate, which is much more easily absorbable, and vitamin E, which I never thought vitamin E was an important vitamin for me. I was always focusing on like C, D, A, and vitamin E, that was an afterthought. I didn't think vitamin E was going to help me, even though I knew I had really dry and cracking lips all the time, even though, my nails, my hair, like everything wasn't optimal, but I didn't get it that vitamin E was like a really big, important nutrient for me. So started taking those, just gleaning as much information as I could offline about Dr. Gonzalez and his partner, Dr. Linda Isaacs, which it costs $4,500 to see her. And once you do see her, because unfortunately Gonzalez died, so Dr. Linda Isaacs can design basically a personalized nutrition protocol for you. They take your DNA and your hair, and they figure out exactly what you yourself should be eating. And there's like many different diets. There's like 90 different diets and all these different combinations of nutrients and stuff like that. So I guess what I'm leading up to is that I gleaned a lot of the information just off of what people had put online about their treatments, and I also studied the work of Beard and Kelley and the Weston Price Foundation, Dr. Weston Price, who had figured out about nutrition and physical degeneration. And, like the works that were available and the information about this topic that was online, I gleaned it all, and I made notes about what was best for myself as a meat eater, Northern European. It's nothing vegetarian about my race or whatever. So we had to, eat meat for thousands of years, and this is what I have to do now in order to stay healthy. So there's no becoming a vegetarian in just one generation. It doesn't work like that unless you want to make yourself really, really sick and die before your time and maybe catch a degenerative disease, which I'm not trying to do. So anyway, today was really the first day that I was able to actually control these last asthma type symptoms that I was having. I would feel like my lungs were just constricting, and I had to tell myself, this is an asthmatic condition brought on by a weak sympathetic nervous system. This is not anything to do with if there's stuff in my lungs or pollution or anything like that. This is brought on by the nervous system, and it's because of bad body chemistry. And I've been working hard to correct it, and some symptoms just take a while because they become ingrained habits in the body, and it takes a while to push them back over. So today this is the first time that I was able to just control it. I was able to say to myself, this is my nervous system talking, and I'm, doing things in order to strengthen that aspect of my nervous system, and I've been doing them for a while, and it should be kicking in right about now. And I'm tired of this, and I'm going to run and exercise as much as I want, regardless if my lungs are doing this or not. And so it worked. By the time my walk was over, I walked for maybe 45 minutes, and by the time I could feel my lungs starting to settle down halfway into the walk, and by the time I was home, they were done. I was no longer feeling that feeling. And I was able to get air all the way down to the bottom of my lungs. So that is so important, because that is the thing that's been hampering me for the past 3 years. So the fact that I can control that now, and I've been working on that, and the fact that is now under my control, that is huge. As a singer and a bodybuilder, that is huge, to be able to control your lungs. So that was the problem I was having, and it's over now. So I'm going to be getting back to my life, and my life consists of doing a lot of events, doing a lot of nightclub projects, working out, you know, fitness and bodybuilding, but mostly fitness. I'm not one of those, like, you know, figure contest females. I'm more about like having a beautiful body, but not necessarily fitting into the mold of figure training and competing in those contests. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting back into like extreme exercise, extreme fitness, singing, modeling, and living closer to NYC, because while all this was going on, I actually moved to a cottage in the woods 75 miles away outside of New York, so I could heal my body and figure out just what the heck was going on, because, you know, when you're living down there and stuff with all the pollutants and stuff, you're scared. You know, you're sucking down fumes and you're scared that this means that you're gonna die. So that happened, and it's over, yay! So, you know, yay for me, I'm gonna live happily ever after.